It's me, DM. What do you guys think, huh? You like my lamp? I love lamp. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a Nethro Champion guide. I've pulled the third one of him, so I figured Plarium's telling me it's time for you to make a guide on this guy. And he's actually one of the best legendaries just purely in the game. So we're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about where I use him, because I use him a lot of places, and talk about what he's good at. Now, here's his basic stats. If you're going to do Clan Boss, you're just going to get him to be the third person to attack. That way you have your attack down and defense down weakener. They go first and then he goes. That way the poisons don't overstack. And for me, the speeds are 193 to get him to go third, because I have 191 and 192. So he's number 3. And then as far as the primaries go on the items here, I basically am just having defense primaries. And then, we have the standard primaries here, and then speed boots. Now, you can use really any combination you want, but for me, I do prefer defense if possible, and I try to get as many 6-star pieces as gear as possible, but these are just the ones that I happen to have. Now, you don't really need to run, like, critical damage type of sets on him, unless you're looking for wave clear. Normally, a large portion of the damage you're going to do with Nethro when we're talking about Clan Boss is primarily going to be through proccing of Giant Slayer, as he has a triple hit on his basic. For this reason, if you're using him primarily in Clan Boss, both the poison and the triple hit Giant Slayer procs are going to be the damage, so you don't need to worry about critical damage and things like that. However, because of his other two moves here, which has the AoE stun with decreased speed and the AoE decreased turn meter, if you have these moves either maxed out or you're using him as kind of a wave clear in dungeons with these two moves, then yeah, critical damage is fine, or stun sets are pretty common on him as well, because he actually can do some pretty good damage. Now, as far as books go, you're going to notice I have his basic attack fully booked to place the poisons, but these ones I did not go and fully booked. I stopped. And the reason for that is when I'm using him on Clan Boss on auto, it's going to make him use his basic attack more, which is the only thing I care about, and I do prefer just autoing the Clan Boss because it takes a while. So that's the reason there. Now, as far as masteries go here, I'll let you take a quick peek. I don't have any of the masteries that would gain him turn meter, because once again, I have him going as my number 3. Attacker in counterattack, plus in Clan, like Clan Boss turn order. And if I give him any turn meter manipulation in his kit, it's going to screw up the rotation and he'll end up doing less damage. So for that reason, I don't have any like RNG variables, except like things like Master Hexer, which will just increase how long the poisons are up. Nothing too big of a deal there. And as far as the offensive tree, it's just right here, these 4, and then straight down into Giant Slayer. Last things are accessories, and then we are going to go ahead and get into a Clan Boss run so you can see this. Now, I use just a defense ring with defense and HP primaries. You're going to do more damage on Clan Boss, again, with Giant Slayer and Poison, so your goal is survivability, not necessarily just critical damage. And then, once again, here I have an amulet just with some tanky stats, and try to get a little bit of accuracy on there. As far as accuracy goes, the higher the better, really. Nothing too complicated there. Okay, let's go ahead and get into a Clan Boss run here. Okay, now when I'm starting my Clan Boss run with Nethro, it almost always looks the same. I go ahead, I turn off the auto in the beginning, I do my first rotation, which I've got into in other videos, and there's plenty of people talking about Clan Boss. I get the attack down, I get the weaken, and then at this point I get a poison, and I just hit auto. And now the majority of Nethro's damage is just going to come through the counter attacks for the most part. He's going to keep up the poison between him and Bado. That's all we need for poisons. So I'm going to let it run for a round here so you can kind of see how it goes. He gets attacked, the counter attack goes, he applies the poisons. Everyone does their rotation once again, and you're going to notice that it's always going to be the same rotation over and over and over again, because nobody has those turn meter manipulation masteries. So it's going to keep it very easy to always have the counter attack proc. And you see there that he got attacked, counter attack, he auto attacks back, poisons are back up, yada yada yada. And that's essentially how he looks in Clan Boss. You see 67k with a auto attack Giant Slayer proc there, and that's where he's just going to get a lot of his damage. Now, he is my primary damage dealer in Clan Boss, and before I had him, I was doing significantly less. He normally does about half of my damage, maybe as low as a third of my damage, but he does the majority of it by himself, basically. And so For that reason, I highly, highly recommend working on him. If you have one available for Clan Boss, he is an absolute monster. So I'm going to let this finish up. I'm going to cut to the end so you can see the damage. Oh, God, it took so long. I fell asleep during these. I tell you guys, these Clan Boss. But yeah, as you can see, Nethro obviously did the most damage, 9.5 something some change. So not the most damage he's ever done, not the least damage he's ever done, but yeah, that's probably about average right about there. Okay, so where does that leave us? Now, in all the keeps, he's amazing because he just blows through the waves, but, the keeps are pretty easy. Now, as far as all of these dungeons go, Fire Knight, he's amazing because he's the strong affinity if you look at Fire Knight 20. Obviously, a triple hit is good against the Fire Knight because it has the Tin Shield. I mean, everyone knows that by this point. Plus, the decreased turn meter is good, and he's the strong affinity, so he does damage against the waves. Very good there. I've actually used him in Spider before, to clear Spider 20 when I was using like a kind of like a tank strat or with Inferno Baroness. I think if you guys have seen that video. Now, in Ice Golem's Peak, you can use him because he is the same affinity, but in Dragon, people use him too with a stun set. Because then you don't really have to worry about it being negative affinity as much, because for the most part, you're just there for the damage and the stuns for the random people that, don't get hit for weak. But I don't really like him in Dragon 20. I know a lot of people have used him with some success, but I really don't like off affinity just because of the negative damage you get with it. I would prefer just to have, like, AoE people in Longbeard, for instance. So, Dragon you can use, but it's basically, long story short, usable in every single bit of all of these dungeons. Most usable probably in Fire Knight's castle. He's almost like hand-picked for that, basically. He just doesn't have the healing reduction built in. And everywhere else, he's entirely usable as well. Now, I'll show you the very worst dungeon, which is probably Dragon's the hardest one, just so you can kind of get an idea. I'm going to throw him in there. And let me take out, we'll take out Bad Owl and Scartorsus, so it's not like a completely crazy team. We'll just put in Skull Crusher, and we'll use, how about like Skull Crown or something here, okay? And we'll put these guys in there. And then you can just kind of see how he's only got Clan Boss gear on, so he'll probably do significantly better if you guys have him built for the dungeons. And when you build him for the dungeons, you would probably just want to put in something with higher damage, maybe like crit damage gloves, maybe, those stun sets I was talking about, things of that nature. And maybe you could even go like pretty squishy with him with his AoEs, and then pair him with like a revive or something too. Could work. But you can kind of see what he basically does here. He just kind of adds to the AoE fest. I wasn't super impressed with him in Dragon 20, to be honest, but I wanted to show you at least his worst performance, so you can understand that this character is ridiculous no matter where you use him, basically. I mean, I think he was, because I was debating doing like a top 5 legendaries in the game video, and I was thinking, where would Nethro fall in there? Because he would be within my top 5. And I'm not entirely sure, but I would feel comfortable saying, for me, I think Nethro is top 5 legendaries in the game, strictly because of Poison's AoE Terminator. I mean, everything about his kit is just very well crafted. And he's also Spirit, which is kind of hard to find within his role. So there he goes as I'm talking about him. You see exactly how good he is. He has died. He's not so great in places like that where he's squishy, and this is kind of more the best of him in scenarios that you pair him with like a counterattack into like Fire Knight or somebody that you need to hit them multiple times to apply Giant Slayer poisons or remove their shield with Fire Knight, etc. Any scenario that multiple hits plus counterattack is a big deal, that's where Nethro shines, and this one here is an excellent. Egg. I was going to say excellent. I don't know why, but I had egg in my mind, and I'm like, don't say egg. Don't say egg. He's also very usable in Arena. Here's my Nethro versus another person's Nethro. A lot of people use him because he has decreased turn meter and he's Spirit, and a lot of people use Force characters in Arena, and you can see a lot of those. And I don't really use him because I use just AoE nukers, and I don't really need the decreased turn meter and the stun and everything. Most of the time people are just dead anyway. But he is a good character in the arena. He's not bad by any means, and all of the moves are usable. His basic attack is maybe not as good, and in fact, I know it's not maybe, it is not as good in PvP as it is in PvE, but having a triple hit is still effective. And you can see here the stuns. Ooh, Skull Crown, man. Skull Crown does some damage, but I was going to say you can see the stuns actually matter in Arena if he's fairly quick, and having a stun set, if you do have a stun set on top of it, will make it even higher chance that you're getting some CC down. So he's usable, maybe not S tier, but definitely like A tier in Arena. All in all, Nethro is overall a fantastic character, and if you pull him, you should be excited to have pulled this character, and yes, you should invest your resources into him, as you will get a return on your investment, for sure. I have been getting legendary books, Sacred Shards, Void Shards, Ancient Shards, Epic books, all those things from Clan Boss, and Nethro has been a large part of helping me achieve that. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to see more videos like this, including champion guides and legendary content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you want to see. All right, boys, I love you all. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for selling out and plugging my own channel on my own channel. And have a good day.